Back again with another one. Bad News Brown breaking it down. Y'all gotta forgive me, man. I got my hustle beanie on, but looks like it's time for another Diddy update. Yeah, just when y'all thought it was over, we thought Diddy done got sent up the river, took his time, now he's gone. It's over with, and next up, what's next? Well, look like Diddy is back, y'all, and well, let's see. According to the report, Sean Diddy Combs is currently in prison at the Federal Correctional Institution, FCI, Fort Dix in New Jersey, serving a 50-month sentence for prostitution-related convictions. Well, we knew that. Recent reports indicate he was caught in trouble with prison officials for allegedly having homemade alcohol. And for those that don't know, that's what we call Pruno. It's called Pruno. Now, well, he's doing time back east. They call it hooch out there. So y'all let me know in the comments. But, yeah, well, let's see. Let's read further. The beverage was reportedly made by fermenting a mixture of Fanta soda, sugar, and apples over a period of 2 weeks. Officials initially planned to move him to another unit due to the infraction, but later reversed their decision. Alright, so let's break it down. Well, look like Diddy is making himself at home. You know, Diddy done got pretty comfortable. You know, it didn't take long, did it, huh? And it won't take long. You see, Diddy programming now. Look like Diddy programming, y'all. That's what it's called, programming. You know, and we just seen pictures of Diddy on the yard out there functioning. You know, he was with the brothers, you know, don't matter what car, but he was out there functioning. And looked like he was programming. And now he done got caught with the Pruno. Look like he programming well. He's programming hard. You know, he fell right in the ranks, you know. And it's funny because I made a video a while back regarding Diddy in a comparison between him and R. Kelly, when it seemed like R. Kelly was having the prison blues, and Diddy in there living like Al Capone, as I referred it. And now here it is, Diddy then got caught with the bootleg booze, the bootleg whiskey, you know, just like Al Capone. So, hey, there we have it. Yeah, y'all, you know, all BS aside, it don't surprise me. I mean, Diddy definitely drink. Again, he's in there programming, and you're going to make your stay as comfortable as possible and as bearable as possible. Now, if you familiar with my channel, or if you not, I did some prison time, and I suggest you watch some of my prison videos. And a few of them videos, I reference Pruno, so I got some experience. You know, there was a time, and so on a certain yard, I was the Pruno man. I mean, I made some of the best batches, and I'm just gonna leave it as that. So anyway, let's break it down a little more, since I got a little experience. Now, according to the report, it says that the beverage was reportedly made by fermenting a mixture of Fanta soda, sugar, and apples over a period of 2 weeks. Alright, now in my Pruno experience, y'all, and of course this ain't to glorify none of this. I mean, it's prison booze. It's nothing to glorify, you know, but in there you can make a good living if you know what you're doing. And for those that consume, just like people consume alcohol out here, it takes the cheat off you, so to speak. But anyway, now, preferably from my experience, now it said he was using apples. Now you can use apples. Now preferably you would prefer oranges. You know, I never really made Pruno out of any other fruit that I can remember besides oranges. Maybe pears, probably once or twice. But anyway, oranges is the preference. You know, oranges and as much sugar as you can get your hands on, because essentially what takes place is the citrus turns the sugar into alcohol. You know, once you cook it or heat it up. Now, they mentioned a Fanta soda bottle. Now, I highly doubt he mixed the soda in the Pruno, although I may have tried that before. I can't even remember how that turned out, but what happened is, see, now there's a difference between a county jail Pruno batch, or making Pruno in county jail, versus making Pruno in prison. Being in prison, you got access to a lot more stuff. County jail, you got to kind of do things on the shoestring, depending. And there is times, you can tap in with the power workers, and but it just take a little longer to accumulate the stuff for like a bigger batch. So now in county jail, Santa Rita, I would use a plastic bottle as the base, as the begin, the kicker, to start the kicker, so to speak. So you would put some oranges, a few oranges, you peel the oranges and you'll put them in the bottle, the empty bottle, plastic bottle. Then you'll add as much sugar, a gang of sugar. And I believe you would add some, see, now you could use soda in this instance, because if you don't have nothing else sweet, you'll use water. Now, preferably, if you're in county jail, depending on your county jail, and then stop, if you can save up a whole bunch of orange juice, the orange juice boxes, then you'll use that instead of water. But if we just gonna say again on the shoestring, you don't have access or a whole bunch of access to that. So you got the oranges and you got it in there for the kicker. Add a little water, I believe. I'm coming a little rusty, y'all. It's been a long time. And you mix a lot of sugar in there in a plastic bottle and you close it. Now what's gonna happen is the bottle will start blowing up, and then you have to open it and like a soda. You have to burp it. And then eventually, once that get ripe, so to speak, you'll add it finally with all your other ingredients, which will probably be more oranges, and more sugar, definitely, because much sugar again, and some liquid. And then that base, if I'm not mistaken, and then you got to get some hot. And this is where in county jail it's a little different, because you're going to need access to hot water. The hotter the better. So you're going to probably need the help of what we call power workers. Power workers activate, or, a tier runner, so to speak. And they'll bring you hot water. And you're going to need other empty plastic bottles to fill the hot water in, to exchange it and put it under your batch to heat it up. If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, y'all. Now, in prison, it's different, because again, you got access to a whole lot more stuff, meaning sugar and oranges. So where in prison, I would just your basic batch, I can get a hold to 30 to 50 oranges. Peel them, put them all in a garbage bag. Mix it all up, put them in a garbage bag, tie it up, step on it, mix all the oranges up, mush it up as much as you can. Then add as much sugar. Now, in prison, we got a hold to pure cane sugar. Now, depending on your county jail, they may still give y'all the sugar packs, real pure cane sugar, or you probably get that NutraSweet with that aspartame. What's that other ingredient? I know everybody done checked it, just like in the Kool-Aid too. That one, it is aspartame, I believe. Yeah, poison. But anyway, you might get the sugar packs. But anyway, again, in prison, you got access to real pure cane sugar and sugar cubes. So you'll pour as much sugar as you can in that garbage bag along with the citrus. Now, in And you can add other stuff, other candy, Skittles. We can use Skittles. Like in County Jail, I used to love using root beer barrels. Make a fire batch with root beer barrels. But yeah. But again, as much sugar, I done did gummy worms, gummy bears. I haven't tried chocolate. Now we ain't did none of that, but Starburst, that those type of sugars. But as much as that as you can, and then plus those can, depending on the ratio, what part what, and all that, you can come with some cold, creative tasting batches. So, but this is in prison, as far as that. But and then you get, since in prison you got access to boiling water. Boil it. Get boiling water from the stinger or whatever, or depending on where you at. Like if you on a ranch or a 1 yard, you probably got a whole hot water little thing. You hit it, spigot or whatever, and you put the water under the garbage bags, and you make it cook. And then just like in the the plastic soda bottle, you'll burp the garbage bag, and you'll have it for a few days. I forget. You have it cooking or whatever for a few days or whatever until it's ready. Then you taste it, then it's ready, and then you serve, and that's Pruno 101, y'all. Now I am a little rusty. It's been a very long time since I've been down, thankfully, But yeah, at one point though, I did used to make some fire batches, so it definitely don't surprise me that Diddy got caught with that. Again, it's P. Diddy. People gonna still enjoy being in his company. I'm sure he got hella stories, plenty stories. He's pretty much gonna be talking about the stories of certain celebrity women and who he done screwed. Just all kind of stories. I'm pretty sure P. Diddy, he had a whole tier listening all night. Depending where he at. Interesting stories, Certain celebrities, he gonna give you personal insight. So, yeah, he's in there programming pretty well. It's safe to assume. Regardless, it's only a certain amount of money you can spend per month anyway. So, I'm sure that locker full. He got that big bag coming from Canteen or whatever. And he's in federal prison, so from what we hear, what I've been always hearing traditionally, the feds, you get fed better anyway, but probably not a whole bunch better. Prison is prison, but you get fed better in the feds from what I hear. Y'all let me know in the comments, man. But yeah, man, it just seems like Diddy is making himself right at home, and I think this won't be the last time we hear from Diddy while he's doing that bid, It'll be another Diddy update. I'm sure I'll have one. Diddy, he probably gonna get caught with some type of contraband of some sort, or because first when I read the report and it said some alcohol, I'm figuring Diddy had a bottle or something up in there. Now that probably shouldn't be hard to do, especially somebody of his stature. Because plenty of COs and work with convicts for lesser, or less on some money plays. I'm not gonna say lesser, but anyway, yeah. And yeah, but that's another story. I actually got a tale or two about some bottles in jail, real bottles, not no Pruno. Yeah, that's another story. But yeah, Diddy in there hanging tough, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This Bad News Brown breaking it down.